Hi, I'm Heidi.
I'm Carla.
And we are from Butcher Babies, and we're so excited to answer your questions. So here we go.
She speaks in thunder. She tastes the poison with eyes wide open. Yeah, the faded photo is all that's sufficient for all the eyes to shine from her eyes. She doesn't know it.
Wow.
That's a long story. We'll try to
Yes.
make it short.
We started this band almost 15 years ago. Carla and I were in a band together prior to this. It was a punk metal cover band, and we played all over Los Angeles. And we wanted to write our own original music and still work together. So we quit that band and created Butcher Babies. And I'm so glad that we did because, 15 years later, we're still out on the road playing, heavy, smooth jazz.
In fact, we just got off stage playing that heavy, smooth jazz on a Mudvayne tour here in the States. So we've been all over the world together.
And it's been fun. How did we get into heavy music? Well, I think as a kid, it was just something that I was drawn to, something that when I finally was subjected to it, I guess you can say, or the first time that I heard it, I think was at the skate park. I snuck away from my parents' house and went to the skate park, and I heard some nu metal because that's my era, and it changed my life. And it's always spoken to me, always given me a way to describe the feelings I was feeling as an angry teenager. And it just stuck with me my whole life. And I still think that it gives me a way to describe those feelings that I feel as an angry adult.
I grew up in Detroit, and classic rock is always on the radio. Hard rock's always on the radio in Detroit. When I was a kid, the first band that really made the hair on my arms raise up was Guns N' Roses. I fell in love with everything about the band, the look, the sound, everything. It made me want to move to LA and start my own band. But after, loving hard rock for a while, I found Metallica. I was hanging out with some kids, and someone played Shortest Straw by Metallica, and it was fast and heavy, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And then I heard Phil Anselmo sing in the late 80s, early 90s, and I was like, what the hell is this? So that's how my love for metal evolved and changed, and yeah, the rest is history. I had to have my own metal band.
So we get to get up every single day and play our own songs and still feel that rush. It's amazing.
She doesn't know it, but I feel her on my shoulder every time that I scream out in pain. She remember my name. I will always regret this.
Well, gosh, going back to my love for Guns N' Roses, Guns N' Roses put out a double album, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And I always loved the idea of doing something like that one day. It was two distinct albums that each one made you feel a different way when you listened to it. And so we took that concept and ran with it. But it didn't start off that way. We didn't intend to put out two albums. We had been writing in 2019. We actually took 2019 off to write an album. And of course, the world changed in 2020. So the songs that we were writing, we did record those, but it wasn't the right time to put them out. So during the course of the pandemic, we wrote even more songs that had a very distinctly different feel from what we had written pre-pandemic. So what's better to do with that situation than to make two albums?
Yeah, we really couldn't put them on the same album. They have completely different feels. We were in different times, in different parts of our lives. Everyone was going through something completely different in writing the second part of the album. The vibe was different. It just didn't fit. And not only that, but it was produced by two different amazing producers. We love both of them. And we felt like each go around with these songs deserved to have their own place and their own album. So it's kind of exciting to be able to talk to people and see what their favorite sound is. Do they like Eye for an Eye or Till the World's Blind better? But the general consensus has been that they're both really touching and really exciting in their own different ways. So I think that kind of really encompasses everything that we've done in our careers up to this point too.
So we recorded one of our albums, Eye for an Eye, in the sunny desert of Arizona, and we recorded Till the World's Blind in Michigan in the middle of winter in this very desolate environment in this place called Midland, Michigan, which is literally known for being the most boring place in Michigan.
If you Wikipedia it is.
So the cover of Eye for an Eye has these beautiful orange hues on it, these beautiful colors that, you know, represent how we felt in that environment. And the cover of Till the World's Blind is very cold, very bleak. The wind chimes on the cover of Till the World's Blind were actually outside of our Airbnb that we stayed in Midland, Michigan while recording the album. And every morning we just hear this beautiful noise.
Sometimes at
creepy,
night too. It was
beautiful,
creepy.
of these wind chimes, and it really made an impact on us. And we knew that we wanted to incorporate it in some way. And
Sometimes we would walk outside in the middle of the night and the wind chimes would have this haunting sound. And not only that, but you can hear the actual wind chimes at the very end Till the World's Blind. And also the titles of both of these albums come from the very last lyric in that song as well, which is Eye for an Eye Till the World's Blind. So we thought it was kind of a perfect way to tie the two together. And for us, that title means a blood pact, an utmost, I've got your back, eye for an eye till the world's blind.
She speaks in thunder, my father's
I think that we take everything around us as inspiration. We take our own lives. We also, if Heidi and I love a certain story about something, whether it's a horror story or about a person or situation that happened, we'll take that and we'll write notes about it and write a story about it. I don't think, especially with two minds writing together, I don't think we ever run out of material to write about.
We have a surplus, which is actually really great. And I think that one thing that we've kind of become accustomed to is as we go through, even times when we're not writing an album, but as we go through our lives together and separate, we've just always known to take our emotions and put them on paper. And even if it's just a sentence or two here and there, it can really spark a lot of different ideas for different songs, which you'll hear a lot of in both of these albums. We definitely did have a lot of fun. So Beaver Cage was filmed in about 45 minutes. We had a whole day planned. We were filming the music video for our song Best Friend in a strip club in New Jersey. And after that long day, we brought everyone onto our tour bus because we were right in the middle of a tour, and we just had an opportunity to invite so many of our party animals to join us. We invited everyone onto the tour bus, and we just said, go crazy. We've got 45 minutes. Let's make the craziest, funniest video. And our friends did not disappoint. They got on the bus and they were able to really bring that video to life. We told them that we really wanted it to be a fantasy, what people think it is to be on a tour bus. And so you can see that what you think happens versus what really happens. And what really happens is a bunch of this where we're sitting in our back lounge and contemplating when we're going to take our makeup off. And then Red Thunder was pretty awesome because we just decided one day we wanted to make a video for that song. Carla happened to be on the West Coast, and so we brought everybody to Las Vegas, filmed it within a couple of hours. It was 2 days, but each of those days we had to do at a certain time during the day because the sun was going down and we were really relying on the sun for this. And it was beautiful. It was awesome. We got some gorgeous shots. I think altogether, the filming of that video probably took about maybe 4 hours altogether. And it came out great.
So gone are the days of spending $500,000 on a music video. We would never be able to do that
it was like almost
as a band. So, you know, with the technology that we have nowadays, we can do it, you know, fast and easy. Heidi did a great job editing it together, and you know, it's done.
Yeah, we've always had a hand in, I mean, a huge hand, giant hand in our music videos. We come up with the concepts, we co-direct, we co-produce. Red Thunder in particular was fully produced, edited, everything by us. I edited the video. It was really great.
There's
So
not one music video that anyone else has ever written for us from the very first video that we ever did. That's very important to us. You know, just having things be truly us.
it is so hard to choose between your babies. And not only that, but we have two amazing albums in this. And I think that Eye for an Eye, a lot of those songs were heard throughout 2020, 21, and 22. And a lot of those songs grew a life of their own. And we were, you know, surprised and taken back by the popularity of some of these songs. As it turns out, Bottom of a Bottle is the most popular song we've ever released. And it's really emotional, and it tells a story of kind of where we were at that time. So I'd probably say that's my favorite off of that particular album. But Till the World's Blind, I have a really hard time choosing a favorite. I do think that last December is really special because we got to really jump out of our element and dive into the softer side of us. And I think that's really special and beautiful. And I'm so glad that we work within, you know, together, and our band members really we're really allowed to go out and try different things like that. And plus, Henry co-produced that song. So I think that's probably my favorite.
For me, I really love Dreaming in Color off of Eye for an Eye. Something about that. That was one of the first ones that we wrote with Matt Good, maybe the first one that we wrote with Matt Good. And you know, got down, and there's just something about it that every time I hear it, it's very dreamy. I mean, the song itself says Dreaming in Color, and it has that feeling. I've always loved it. So I'm glad the world finally gets to hear it. And Till the World's Blind, there's a couple that I really, really love. I love The Devil Cut Me Off because I love the chorus. Hey, do the gods drink whiskey? Because the devil just cut me off. I want to go party with them. Yeah, it's just such a fun song, and we came up with the chorus for it in such a fun way. And I have been digging the back streets of Tennessee too.
Yeah, it's hard to choose. Yeah, I really love
My
Beaver
mind will
Cage
change
too.
tomorrow. Beaver Cage, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
I snap, you bend, I'll saddle up a beastly savage, gonna end on eye like the headless horseman.
We had to change the way that we write simply because the times have changed. You know, we all used to live together in Los Angeles, and we would write in our drummer's garage or get a studio and write together and literally sit there and just throw ideas at the wall. Well, now we all live in different parts of the United States, so that's not possible. When we do get in a room together, it's amazing. But we've learned how to share files, do Zoom sessions, and that's just the way things have to be sometimes. And so I feel like we've evolved in that way. We've grown things that we said, no, it can't be done like that before. Now we're more accepting of, and we've written some of the best material of our careers in that way.
Yeah, this album also, it's our first destination album. We all traveled to different places. Like we said, the first one, we all went to Tempe, Arizona, and wrote those and recorded those in that time frame. And then we all traveled to Midland, Michigan, and wrote and recorded those songs in that time frame as well, which we'd never done. We had always done all of our albums in Los Angeles with producers that lived there. So it was a really fun experience to live in an Airbnb together for 6 weeks. I mean, we're used to living in a bus together, which is totally fun, but we had a little bit more space. But we'd go to the studio for hours on end. We'd come home, we'd cook together, we'd work out together, we'd watch movies together. It was really a different thing than we'd ever done. and recording an album. It was just all about the music all the time.
I feel like bands used to do that a lot too. You always hear about bands going away somewhere together to write their album. So I'm glad. Hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, that'd be
Maybe in a
fun.
nicer environment.
We loved our Airbnb. It was so quaint and nothing was around. Everything closed at like 7 p.m. So we just had each other and the music. So it was cool.
This is a silly question. Of course, we've gotten negative comments over the years, but you know what?
Who has
We always had each other to say, don't pay attention to that. Don't worry about that. It can really get you down if you read negative comments. And let's face it, people are more likely to leave a negative comment than a positive comment, whether you're a goddamn restaurant or a band. So, over the years, we've just put on the thick skin. We really don't care what anyone says because we've gotten to have this incredible experience as best friends. Our whole band, like I said before, we've toured the world together. We've been everywhere from Philippines, Japan, all over Europe. I'm excited to go back again together. And we've done all these things in spite of what anyone behind a computer in their mom's basement has said. So whatever.
Yeah, comments don't really matter. I think for us, it's the fact that we've been around for 15 years tells a story in and of itself. So I'm not really triggered by anything other people say, reviews or anything, because in the end, it's special to somebody and it's special to us, and that's what matters. Sleep. We sleep. I've had to learn how to sleep longer. I'm up to at least 8-9 hours now. Proud of you. But it definitely helps to sleep a lot. Try to drink a lot of water during the day, which I have not been doing so much on this tour. I need to do more water drinking. That's super important, just keeping yourself hydrated. We've been touring for so long that we typically don't lose our voices unless we get sick or something like that, unless it's, particularly harsh circumstances. I mean, knock on wood, we're
Yeah.
good so far this year. Neither of us have lost our voices this year. We've been on tour for several months at this point. And we have the rest of the year heading to Europe after this particular tour for another 2-month tour. So it is imperative that we keep our voices in shape. And I mean that as in, you can't just go out and run a marathon without practice. We practice at home and we practice on the road. One of the major things that we do to warm up is we warm up our diaphragms, because without warming up your diaphragm, you can't sing, you can't hit hard notes, you can't scream high, low, mid, anything. Your diaphragm is your most important thing. So we hit, it's a chorus of Magnolia Boulevard, one of our songs, and we do a bunch of he's, because the he contracts your diaphragm. So he. So yeah, you'll hear us doing that a lot before. I also like to summon some demons, and I'll do just kind of warming up different parts of my throat. And there's every vocalist has their different techniques that work for them, and that's what has worked for us.
It's really cool to find the golden rule.
Gosh, we really want to go to Latin America. We'd love to do a big tour.
It's the only place I swear we haven't been
I
yet.
just was there hanging out with Pantera, watching some shows, and there was
You
a
heard of them?
lot of fans that came up and said, we want Butcher Babies here. So hopefully we get over there soon.
Yeah, it has been a goal and a dream of ours to visit Latin America. So fingers crossed 2024 is the year where it's us and some other friends coming to melt your faces. So we'll see. Hopefully. To give a male or female, I think anybody who has a dream of breaking into the music industry, it's doable. It's not 1 in a million like everybody says, like, I just remembered people saying like, I'll see you in 6 months. That's a 1 in a million thing. It's not. All it just takes is hard work and perseverance. It's not something that comes easily. For us, it took years and years of trial and error with all sorts of different bands, all sorts of different careers leading up to this. And I think also another thing is just finding a group of people that share your same, I guess, work ethic, you can say, to work hard and go out there and put yourself on display in front of everybody. It's not easy, but if you want it bad enough, you can have it.
I would say it is 1 in a million because most people don't have the
work
ethic
ethic
to put it in. So
Okay,
I think
okay.
that's because it's way harder than you think.
But at the same time, if you persevere and you work hard and you go out there, perfect your craft. I mean, nobody's going to be amazing at first. Nobody. It takes practice. It takes years and years of working on your vocals, working on your instrument, working on
your
business, songwriting, because half of this is a business. You have to be business savvy as well. And so there's so much into that, but really perseverance and having an open mind to learning. Well, Over Music, thank you so much. And we are Butcher Babies, and we have had a blast answering your questions. Now, do not forget to check out our brand new album,
Eye for an Eye, Until the World's Blind.
Yes! And we hope to see you sooner than later. Just keep rocking and be safe out there.